What's up? Wheaton Apologetics 534. How you guys doing? Patrick O'Connell here. This is my apologetics presentation. I just want to say thanks for a great class so far. I've really appreciated getting to know all of you, at least through Blackboard. It's kind of a cool platform, isn't it? Too bad we didn't have the opportunity to kind of sit in class and learn from each other, but perhaps we'll have that opportunity in the very near future, at least to get to know each other. I chose to do my apologetics presentation on beauty. The reason is because I've had a longing or a passion or an obsession with beauty for about as long as I can remember. Now, I've only been a Christ follower for about 10 years. In fact, if you had asked me in my early 20s or even a little thereafter, what was my worldview, I might have even said that I was an atheist. Don't know if I really believe that in hindsight, but nonetheless, that's what I would have stated. So while I was a non-believer, I was absolutely passionate about beauty and had really spent a lot of my life pursuing beauty, understanding beauty, trying to analyze it, trying to gain a fuller comprehension of exactly what it is. Because as I think you'll find in my presentation, beauty is a curious thing. I've always loved paintings. I used to go to the Art Institute when I was in college, and I would just hang out in the galleries for hours and hours. I'd write notes about what I was viewing, kind of what I was feeling. I've loved music. I'm not a musician, but I love everything from punk rock to Beethoven and pretty much everything in between. Music has this powerful impact, and it has really been important in my life. I read poetry. Not too many, middle-aged guys in the suburbs read poetry, but that's me. I read novels. I'm attracted to foreign cinema. Andrei Tarkovsky is one of my favorite directors, a Russian filmmaker. I've always had this sensibility about beauty, but I've never quite understood it, at least until I became a Christian. And so my apologetic proposal is all around beauty, and the thesis is frankly that beauty is a signpost to God. So I'm just going to share a presentation that I created, and I'll run you through it, and we'll see see if you like this or not. The question I'm asking is, why is there beauty? Why is there beauty? We have all experienced beauty in some way, shape, or form. We've experienced it wherever we are. There's no time or place or unique circumstance when we experience beauty. It kind of overtakes us. And we are overtaken by beauty when we least expect it. We might step outside on a sunny day and marvel at the beauty of the sky, or a small bird might be fluttering through the trees in our backyard, or a child's laugh, or a ski slope. Whatever it is, we find beauty and we experience it when we least expect it. Why is that? What are we searching for as we long for more of these experiences? See, we experience beauty in many ways, don't we? In music and in movies, painting, poetry, certainly the natural world. And our appreciation of beauty, and I say appreciation because we all know it when we experience it, don't we? It's immediate and sudden and sometimes overwhelms us. For instance, I'm not a very emotional guy, but there are moments in a film, or there are moments in a symphony, or in a beautiful sunset while I'm running along the roadway, where I literally am brought to tears. We cannot not experience beauty. You cannot not experience beauty. Isn't that remarkable? And when we experience beauty, we want to experience it again and again, don't we? We are never, ever satisfied with the one experience of beauty. We wouldn't necessarily set out on a day to experience beauty, but when it happens, we're certainly glad that it has, aren't we? Why is that? Why do we have this sensibility, this built-in sense to detect and experience beauty? Well, philosophers through the ages have long contemplated beauty. They've written about it. They've analyzed it. They've tried to help us understand exactly what it is. Science has certainly gone on to help us understand how our brain function works, and then could beauty therefore just be a combination or series of neurochemical processes in our brains? But I don't know if those are satisfying answers. I don't know if philosophy has explained beauty. I don't know if science can tell us exactly what beauty is. Why do we find beauty in the world? If certainly there is no God, then why is there beauty in the places we least expect it? We've got to admit that we have a built-in appetite for beauty. And this can mean that there is something that can actually satiate that appetite. And we know that that appetite is never satiated in this world. And I am convinced that is why beauty is a clue to God. Science and philosophy do not adequately explain this longing, this desire, and this passion we have for beauty. Our longing for beauty, our ability to experience it, must have a purpose. It is something beyond what this world can offer. I propose that that's God. Beauty is a signpost to God. What if our appetite and appreciation for beauty was a clue to God, and it pointed us to God? So an apologetic of beauty would not be an argument for God per se. Rather, it would help us appreciate something about God, and it would ultimately point us to Him. C.S. Lewis once wrote that it was when I was happiest that I longed most. The sweetest thing in all my life has been the longing to find the place where all the beauty came from. That's true of each of us, I suspect, that we all long to find the place where beauty came from. That's God. Beauty is a signpost. It points to God. It cannot confirm God, but it is evidence for God. See, we desire to be united with beauty in a way. That's at least one way of saying it. C.S. Lewis once wrote, "We do not want merely to see beauty. We want something else which can hardly be put into words." I think he's right there. To be united with the beauty we see, to pass it on. We don't want to just hold on to beauty ourselves, do we? We do want to pass it on. Lewis continues, we want to receive it into ourselves. We want to bathe in it, to become part of it. That's why we have peopled air and earth and water with gods and goddesses and nymphs and elves. Lewis proposes that we want to absolutely pass into, to receive, to become awash with beauty. Jonathan Edwards was an American theologian, and he said that God communicates His beauty through the natural world, that our experience of beauty is actually God communicating Himself. Surely there is something, Edwards writes, in the unruffled calm of nature that overawes our little anxieties and doubts. The sight of the deep blue sky and the clustering stars above seems to impart a quiet to the mind. Which one of us has not laid at night and watched the canopy of stars over our heads and not wonder about God and the creation of the universe? Jesus Himself remarked about beauty. He compared the kingdom of God to a pearl, and that when we find the pearl, we want to give away everything. For Jesus, the kingdom of God is akin to beauty. Beauty is a signpost to the kingdom of God. It is the pearl that we all desire and long for. Beauty can, and certainly does, point us to God. Well, that's my apologetic presentation. Wanted to keep it short and brief. I'm really looking forward to your responses and constructive criticism, okay? And I am absolutely excited to see what all of you have come up with. Again, I've just really enjoyed being a part of this experience with you. Many blessings to you until we meet, all right? Take care now.